Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and we're back with another Total War Warhammer 3 video. Today we'll be speculating about a possible rework for the Norsca race and factions. As always, these are pure speculation videos. Nothing has been confirmed whether or not these races or factions will actually get updated and reworked in Warhammer 3. But without further ado, let's begin. Norsca was released as a race for Total War Warhammer 1, with an economy based on raiding and sacking, armies filled with Norscan marauders and massive monsters, and whether or not you decided to follow or become the new Ever-Chosen yourself, it was one of the most unique races to ever be released. Unfortunately, as the passage of time moved on, they've fallen rather behind. So we've looked online, seen your suggestions, and come up with our own suggestions on how Norsca can be brought more in line with the newer races. First, we'll look towards the alignment system where you can dedicate yourself to one specific Chaos God. You raise cities, erect monuments in the name of the Chaos Gods via the ruins, and eventually gain favor by your chosen Chaos God, which would eventually lead to special buffs and so on. The system indeed works quite well, however some minor changes could make it even better. Firstly, I'd like to see us being able to build monuments within our own towns and cities to be able to worship our chosen Chaos God. It just seems more lore-friendly to be able to build a monument in the name of the ruinous powers within our own city walls. Yeah, right now we don't have city walls, but don't worry, we're actually going to get into that much later into the video. And the second thing I'd change is more based around the gods themselves. Right now you can only dedicate yourself to one specific god. As soon as you get to the max alignment, it locks itself. There are 4 different gods that you can align yourself with, each with their own buffs and bonuses. However, I'd like to see a minor addition to this, where you'd have a 5th option. That of Chaos Undivided. There are many different tribes in Norsca, and not all of them devote themselves to one specific god. Instead, there are many tribes that just worship Chaos as a generic thing, giving praise to all the various different ruinous powers. So here I'd like to see a section to be able to devote yourself to Chaos Undivided, and get various minor bonuses from each of the Chaos Gods respectively. This is something very small to be honest, but it makes sense in the lore, and personally I'm more of an undivided person than just devoting myself to one god. Now this next point is something that pretty much everyone has been asking for, which is more Legendary Lord choices and more start positions. Right now the Norscans have a very limited way on how you could start their campaign, with both their Legendary Lords featured in Norsca. To be honest, that's where they should be, considering that the faction is based in Norsca. However, it is more than possible to get different Legendary Lords in different locations, such as the areas in Lustria, which is known to be inhabited by Northmen. I've seen a lot of people requesting the characters based in the Tarmokan books, but they're not really Norscan. They're actually Kurgans, which is a different culture altogether. So honestly, I'd prefer something based in Lustria, or maybe a Legendary Lord that originally starts off as a Horde-based faction that is in the seas, and you can just decide where to go from there. Speaking about Horde factions, I believe that every Legendary Lord from Norsca should also have the Horde mechanic, very similar to how the characters from the Vampire Coast do. You know, just not trying to be funny here, but Wulfric the Wanderer is a wanderer. He should be able to build up his forces and move constantly. The same could be said about Frog and any other Legendary Lord that leads in Norsca. They lead mighty hordes, they should have the Horde function. The next big thing to change would be the settlements. Right, so it's established in lore that they do actually have walled cities. They might not be gigantic, massive walls of stone, but they do have wooden walls. Honestly, the outpost system works well for minor cities and so on, maybe if they had a bit of a better actual garrison, but the capital cities of each province and so on should have at least wooden walls. Now let's talk about the Norscans and for some reason not being able to settle in other different cities of different cultures. Not to nitpick too much, but this was established in the lore that when they took over towns and so on, they would settle there. Granted, a lot of them went back to Norsca and so on, but they would still settle in other regions. They wouldn't just stay in coastal cities. I understand the reasoning of why the mechanic was implemented as such, so they would have reason to actually raise the cities in the name of their chosen god, but I believe that we should at least have an option to either raise it or settle. Now let's look at the option about becoming the Ever-Chosen. So in late game, when Archaon finally decides to show up, you have the choice to either join the Ever-Chosen or wage war against him to become the Ever-Chosen yourself. If you decide to wage war against him and eventually beat him, you get massive bonuses and a lot of upkeep reduction and so on, which makes you rather overpowered, as you should be, because at the end of the day you are the new Ever-Chosen. So I just want something here purely for fun, because at the end of the day you've already become overpowered as it is. If it's the case that you become the new Ever-Chosen, you should also have an option to build a new building, which will give you access to all the Warriors of Chaos units. Yeah, I know, this sounds stupid and very overpowered and so on, but at the end of the day you are the new Ever-Chosen, so shouldn't you be able to recruit his troops? I mean, the campaign's pretty much done and dusted by that point, so you might as well just have some fun with it. Honestly, these are the biggest points that I'd like to see changed. There are also some minor things that I'd like to go through, like for example, having a troll that's also a lord choice so you can build troll armies with frog. This is just purely thematic, but it's just a case of having pure monster armies, you know? Just for the meme, could we have Sufar Ek turned into a legendary lord? I mean, purely it's just for the meme, but you never know. When you align yourself with a god or an undivided, I think that you should be given a special lord character to represent that god or Chaos Undivided. Not a legendary lord with his own unique voice lines, just something visually a bit different. I honestly have no complaints about the hunt system, I actually quite enjoy that. I just think that they should add more. Specifically, every time they include a new race that has monsters and so on, I'd like to see a new hunt being added in or two. Honestly, I think the Norsca DLC was rather good for its price, and not a lot of changes would be needed to make this race on par with all the others. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about any changes that you would think for Norsca, any new legendary lords, where they would start, anything really. Let's speculate with a little bit of a think tank, and start up a bit of a discussion. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various different social media links such as Facebook, Instagram and Discord, where you can get in contact with the Great Book team and talk to us about anything Warhammer related, tabletop related, or just about anything really. Also in the description section below is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link also supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons, your support means the world to us. Honestly, it's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big special thank you to our patron Gibraltar LUSC for subscribing to us at our Fane level. Honestly mate, you're super cool. And a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, commenting on these videos. The channel's growing at a really cool pace lately, and it's so amazing to be able to talk to so many different Warhammer fans worldwide. Honestly, it's super weird to me, and I'm trying to reply to everyone's comments and so on, so I do apologize if I do miss you out every now and then. But with that, my friends, thank you for watching once again, and I shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.